Right, the topic for today will be, when do I man the fuck up and go out on the bike in winter weather, or when do I go on the turbo trainer? So, this morning I went out and I haven't been on a turbo trainer since March of last year. And I was tempted to go on the turbo trainer this morning, but I thought, nah, I'm just gonna wrap up and get out there, but just reduce the volume. So ideally, when it gets to this time of year, you know it's going to be January, February, March, pretty shit weather-wise in the UK, and most of us have full-time jobs as well. So if you want performance and you've got a limited time, have a turbo setup with your bike on it, with your kit ready to go when you get in. This stops any delay in you coming through the door thinking, do I go on a turbo, do I go out for a night ride, which one do I do? The turbo wins, and it gives you the performance, it gives you the endurance you need. As long as you've got the right sort of sessions and you've got the right sort of inspiration, and the sessions aren't like an hour and a half long, if you can get on the turbo 3 times a week through the winter, and it can be as little as 45 minutes. Hold on. So it can be as little as 45 minutes on the turbo, just doing intensive fresh hold. January I would concentrate on fresh hold and tempo, and making sure you're doing tempo fresh hold blocks. Something that stresses the system. Don't just sit on there and watch a film. If you're sitting on a turbo and watching a film, you might as well sit on the sofa. You're achieving the same sort of levels of intensity. When I train on a turbo, I can't even see the brick wall, let alone what's going on some TV show. So 3 times a week on the turbo, set it up and get your mind fixed to thinking, right, through January, February, March, I know I'm going to be on the turbo most of the time. Don't think about going out on the road. The road, after the weekend, get to next week, we could be dropping into some really cold weather. It could be dangerous. You could come off. You could do your collarbone, your arms. You could be in some serious shit. So on a turbo, it's pretty safe, unless you're a crazy turbo trainer rider and just tend to fall off even on the turbo, but that's unlucky. So January, February, March, turbo-based sessions will give you the best amount of fit. It will bring you into top form. And people go, I need to do my endurance rides. Fuck that, man. It's like freezing cold outside. Do you really, really want to go out for 3 to 4 to 5 hours on the road, in cold weather, in the rain, hating your life, Some people enjoy it. Well, I don't enjoy it. I hate the rain. I hate the cold. I would rather be on the turbo for 45 minutes, and maybe do some split sessions as well. Maybe do one in the morning, one in the evening. And maximise those sessions. But then once you've done, once you've got it into your mind and that mentality, and you've got that mindset that you're going to be on the turbo for 3 months, it's not so bad, because any road ride you do in nice glorious weather, it's a bonus. So if you set yourself a nice plan of turbo training through the winter, on a decent turbo that has power. Power isn't expensive anymore on turbos. Kinetic, if you've got an iPad, you can get them for like 300 quid. And they're very, very accurate. You can download them onto Training Peaks. You can get some very good graphs, and you can analyse your training very, very well. So you're getting into March. That's when you can start to up your road mileage. When it gets a little bit nicer, and you can even if you're racing, you could do all your stuff on the turbo. It requires discipline, and it requires a belief in what you're doing. But once you have that belief in the sessions in which you're doing are giving you good form, you're going to be confident and do more and more of them. And I always tend to. I would always recommend doing even some into March, you know, and then start to filter them down, and then do more road work. If you're doing road racing, time trialing, you can really benefit from different type of turbo sessions. But all in all, if you're on the turbo and you get on there 3 times a week, your performance is going to increase. You don't need a coach to tell you that. Just get on the bike. The discipline is getting on that turbo. All right, that is the discipline. And also, when you're on the turbo, make sure you have the right amount of fluid. The turbo, the environment is welcoming. A lot of people will have their turbo in a cluttered garage, shit everywhere. That's not good. You want your turbo, you want some good tunes, you want a big fan. Preferably put the fan behind you to keep the wind off your chest. And you know, make it a nice environment, welcoming. Don't call it the man pit, you know, a man cave. Call it the man room. It's nice. Put some inspirational pictures up, you know. It does help. So for the next 3 months, get your head around turbo training and make it happen, because you will get massive performance benefits from it. So that's the little tip for today. You know, don't go out in the pouring rain. Don't go out and do night rides every week. Maybe 1 or 2. You know, a little splattering here and there. But don't go out and be religious to it. Set up get a decent turbo, get a decent plan that you can follow, that you understand, that suits your goals or suits the discipline in which you're racing in, and make sure the environment in which the turbo is set up is spot on. All right. So I hope that's been of use, and then you get less of the guilt. You know, you get less of that. Do I go out? Do I go on the turbo? Go on the fucking turbo and get it done. Nail it. Nail the sessions. Bring up your threshold. Work on your VO2 max. That's where most people suffer. So I'm gonna leave it there. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm gonna go and get some lunch, and I'll speak to you later. Bye bye.